We have through an excellent presentation given by Sudha and Mr. Nataraj Badadi on the probable geopark sites along some parts of the western Maharashtra in the Deccan volcanic province of western Maharashtra. And now I think all of us are convinced that the so-called this boring, monotonous stretch of black-colored rock, which appears as a very dull and boring thing for most of the commoners, have a lot of things to offer, and many things are there which, of course, many of these things we have already lost, but still we have plenty of very interesting geological features and structures that need to be preserved and conserved for the sake of our posterity. And people need to be enlightened about their importance and their significance in every possible manner, so that the locals, the villagers and the students, they come up on their own and they join hands in making them, keeping them alive. We need to think, I have a small request, I think that we need to do something to make the local villagers aware of it, so that they can make some means for livelihood around those spots, and that way only it would be sustainable. Otherwise, it is not possible for neither for GSI nor for any other organization, public or private, to to protect them from the vandals who are always there, either willingly or either through their or through their ignorance. Someday or other, very soon they will be gone. The way many things have already vanished from the feature, from the scene. So we have to do something. We have to think about those things, and we have to keep the local villagers around those spots aware about their significance, and help them to make out something out. For their living, so that either through as local guides or maybe some shops or something like that, so that the tourists, whenever they come, they get benefited. These people also get benefited, and they, of their own interest, they preserve these things. So with this, I profusely thank the two speakers of today's webinar, who had done exceedingly well, and it was a learning curve for even me, who spent a large number of years there. 10 years I was there, and some of those things are even new for me, which I had not been to some of those areas. But overall, many of the things are known, and within a very short stretch, probably within 2 days, they have covered many interesting features. And we are all really, we have got benefited out of them. And with time, I think they also will be thinking in terms of many different other traverses along different parts, because the Deccan volcanic province have many other things to offer, including many archaeological finds along the west coast and many other places. Recently also, they have been many new things are being discovered. Newspaper items tell us that very, very, very interesting things. I think they would be of interest to even the international tourists also. Such interesting features are being reported in the newspapers and different journals. So I request Sudha and Mr. Nataraj to please look into the matter and take it to their logical conclusion, so that people are benefited, and I wish them well in their endeavors in the coming days. I thank all the viewers today, and also the organizers, Mr. Ravi, Mr. Nageshwaran, and everyone who is associated and who have taken a lot of trouble in making this successful. it was through our ignorance, and because all of us are pretty new to all these technological advancements, so it probably made the things complicated for them to arrange the whole this thing. But still, it was quite a success, and I hope that in the coming days it will continue and it will be a greater success.
Some observations from the YouTube viewers.
Yes, sir.
One, Mr. S. Narendra Bashad. He has commented that it's very interesting. The features associated with the geographical names of they gel extremely well with the avatar Meher Baba's spiritual ministry.
Narendra Prasad sir mentioned about Meher Baba. Yes, actually, he being an environmental person, the Hirve Bazaar and Ralegaon Siddhi are also in the same area. If time permits, we can also visit those places.
There is Dr. S.K. Parcha. He says excellent presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And on H.R. Arvind, he says very exciting. R. Shankar, he says it's a fantastic proposal, beautifully presented.
Thank you, sir.
And one question he has, they organized a memorable field trip for participants of the International Conference of Geoscience Education that I organized in Hyderabad in 2014. He remembers that.
Right, sir. For us also, it's very nostalgic.
And H.R. Arvind says it's an excellent presentation, it's an excellent initiative, involvement, and the work done was awesome. And he became a fan of your work.
Thank you, sir.
He is asking a question, what is the total cost for the 2-day tour?
So it actually depends. We've been normally doing one-day tours. So the last tour that we priced at 950 includes lunch and 2 breaks and stuff like that. But for a 2-day tour, including the cost of stay, it will roughly go to about 2,000 rupees. Because there's a night halt.
Okay. I think Mr. Arvind, your question is answered. Vadavan Saab says it's an excellent presentation and he congratulates you people.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, no, actually, when we got into all this, of course, geology, Sudha's been doing most of the geological studies and she's lived in the in those areas and mapped some of those areas. But what happens is, we initially thought not enough places to be shown, but this tour can be organized in terms of a 1-day tour or a 2-day tour or even a 3-day tour. Yeah, depending upon the interest of the people. Yeah, so Hirve Bazaar and Ralegaon Siddhi, these are all sites kind of environmental importance, but have a geological bias in terms of watershed mapping and all that, and these can be really highlighted. In addition to this, actually, this is one of the tours and one of the itineraries that we showed you. But in the same Pune Ahmednagar area, we could do 2 or 3 other itineraries, shorter duration or longer duration. One of the classic ones is what we saw today's presentation was the Kanerwadi tube, but there's another very spectacular tube, the Gunjale one, which they had discovered. And around this, you have exemplary deposits of calc-tufa. In fact, the first time that I saw it from a non-geologist perspective, it was really kind of very interesting to understand and how it has formed over so many years. And of course, not to forget the tour to Lonar. That is a real big potential because the government is also focusing a lot on Lonar. So Aurangabad, Lonar, Jalna, these are could be another circuit. Except that it's a little driving distance from Pune is a little long. It's a 5-hour drive. So we normally don't do it unless we have a couple of days at disposal.
These traverses, which Sudha Vaddadi and Nataraj Vaddadi have planned meticulously. Until now, we had several presentations, but we have not got to the depths of geotourism. A geotourist is no different from the other tourist. If he is going to participate in a geotour, he needs to know where he has to take a bus. Is there an organized tour? And where he can have breakfast, where he can have tea, lunch, and where he will rest in the evening if the tour is for a couple of days with night halt. So all these, Sudha and Nataraj, they have planned so well. I actually am very lucky to have participated in one of them, and the lava tube was a big highlight for me because I belong to Deccan Trap country, Rajahmundry, the only East Coast occurrence of Deccan Trap, and the lava tube, fantastic thing. And when they found it, I could imagine that young geologists who just entered maybe months ago into Geological Survey of India, and that is what they have found. And Sudhawat Dadi was very ecstatic in telling that how they have mapped and all that. And the retired Director General and Kutumbara, he was also in the same field. And I really went around, and including for the environmental purposes, we have this Agrotourism. There will be a night halt there and all that. It's a fantastic combination. I'm yet to see such a combination discussed. I'm very thankful to all of them. Bye.
So there was this question regarding the direction of the lava tube as well as the general thickness from Mr. Ritesh Arya. Sudha.
Yeah, the flow direction is towards southeast. As I had shown in one of the slides, the lava channels are northwest southeast trending, and the flow is towards southeast. That the branching takes place further southeast actually, and the thickness. I mean the width. You mean when you said thickness, you mean the width, right? The width is roughly about 15 to 20 meters at place, because it at places it narrows. You can see for scale, actually the car is there, the background, the jeep is there in the background.
1 minute. I'll just show you the slide again.
I'll just show you the slide again, sir. And you can see the complete width. You can see that for scale, actually there is this jeep out there. 15 at places it is more than 15 meters, 15 to 20 meters roughly.
This. So
yeah,
the width is.
It is actually not constant throughout. You can see that in the next thing you can see actually it's not constant throughout. And the distributaries are towards the flow in the flow direction. I can send you some papers and the literature.
Sudhaji, it was very nice presentation. I really enjoyed it.
Aji.
I think everyone enjoyed it, but the way you presented it, as Ravi sir told, it is the way a tourism actually has to be planned and presented. And I was really fascinated by the way you have shown the Deccan traps. We always feel that it is just black and it is just basalts. And we have just seen some zeolites. That is the fascinating features which we are really interested by. Makki sir, who is also from Pune. But the way you have shown these lava flows and the channels and the comparison with the Hawaii Islands and how things were working, I think this is going to be a very, very interesting feature in promoting the geotourism and the geological knowledge, what you are doing in a very, very big way in near future. I think once your tools are being popularized. And another thing I want to just add is, are you doing some research on the? There are a lot of theories now on when these Deccan volcanism actually started. That is the big question mark for the entire geoscientific community world over. And there are a lot of theories, mainly by the foreigners, and all people are doing a lot of work, but there are several contradictions.
Yes.
And yeah, there are self contradictions, and which are I think if one starts analyzing it, explaining this 2 to 4 kilometers of thick basalts, how they were formed, how they were originated, and if something can be in your story, if this can be incorporated, the dates. And yeah, maybe a short paragraph. It makes your story more interesting, and how the dinosaurs also maybe you are not finding it, but maybe in some part of your story, this dinosaur element comes into place. So the Deccan volcanism initiation, the and India as moving as an island at that point of time, how the things were taking place, how. So I was also wondering, because I am working for the evolution, I'm making a model for evolution of Himalayas, but the most triggering question for me always is what was the rate, whether Deccan volcanism actually. Oh, that is going to be a separate question. That is just a thought-provoking things which just came to my mind. But what was the rate when the Deccan volcanism started? Where was the position, paleo-latitudinal position? So if these things, maybe one or two lines can be added to your presentations, it will connect to the common man more. He will be able to. Oh, wow! It happened that time. Oh, it was moving like an island. Oh, wow! Dinosaurs. So maybe you can just think over it, and I think I really enjoyed your presentation, and I just wanted to because these you made about this tough volcanic flows, Toba volcanic flows, huh? Vol-
Yeah.
Sudha,
yeah,
can
I
I
think
butt in? Hello?
these these
Hello.
these need
Yes,
to be preserved, and I think if you leave it to the common man, it is not common man's job, we should be very clear about.
I
No, you're
truly,
right, sir.
truly agree,
Absolutely.
sir.
Yeah. What happens is, from our experience and when we talk with the common man, what we realize is that for something of such a big magnitude, for example, if you look at a 330-kilometer traverse and generally what is known as or seen as dull, dreary black rock, it requires a complete ecosystem in itself, sir. It's not just GSI. GSI can do the principal job of being the technical advisor, spotting it, highlighting, which they have done in fact. But more importantly, if we have to preserve this, the locals have to be involved. More than being involved, we need to get the villagers to participate. We have to give them a means of livelihood. Sustainability has to come in. And there have to be different players who have to pitch in. What is very encouraging at the Bori Ashbed is that the local panchayat and the gram panchayat, the local head, is actually taking initiative, and they have fixed the portion and stuff like that. And they are building agrotourism. That the Parashar agrotourism spot is less than 10 kilometers away. So it's very encouraging. And they have involved GSI, they have involved Deccan College, different players who can contribute, and they're looking at building a museum. So I think principally we need a complete ecosystem in place, which will take some time, I think, and we need to keep doing our.
And
Sudha, can I
thank you.
go?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Arya. Now, Dr. Vadavan wants to know whether you have consulted Dr. Bodas for any inputs.
No,
Mr.
I have not.
Nataraj?
Sir, I was working here in this area, so I know this area thoroughly, and I don't think there was a need to discuss to consult anybody. So they are working in their own space. I am working in my own space.
And sir, just to point out, Sudha is normally modest about her achievements, but I think she was one of the principal actors.
Along with the-
She was one of the principal actors along with Dr. Sharma, Mr. Thorat, and the then director in actually highlighting and the fact about these lava channels and tubes in two places, Kanirwadi as well as Gunjale. Dr. Bodas, of course, in his own right, he's been doing a lot of work, but he hasn't spent as much time as Sudha has spent in Pune and the surroundings.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, HR Arvind has got a nice idea. He says it will be awesome if some local made products like a cloth, statue, which remains about the site and the tour, it will become more memorable and also make the locals proud. You can consider that.
Very good suggestion, sir. Thank you so much. Just I would like to add something to what Ritesh Arya sir was telling. We are actually, and Guha sir was also pointing out that we should educate the villagers. We are actually preparing brochures for each area in 3 languages: English, Hindi, and Marathi. And we plan to, if COVID was not there, we were planning to do it this summer. we plan to actually conduct some workshop for the school children there. There are local small schools are there, villages, and in near Masobhajab, that is Kanerwadi, where you have Gurewadi, there's a small school, and again near Alefata and Aneghat, there is another school. So these schools, we were planning to tap the children there and even call the villages, local villages, so they can participate in the workshop. We can educate them. They will feel proud of that area. And the brochures, when they are in the local language, they can understand better.
And we also have certain ideas like, putting up boards there, signage boards. But then again, principally, we need the locals as well as the state government to pitch in to support that. And that will only happen when their understanding is complete or they appreciate the importance of preserving these things.
I have also already spoken to the owner of Parasha Tourism, Manoj Hadale. He is very keen on coming to Gurewadi and seeing the lava channel. And because he is from that area, he could be having some political connection also. So he could help us in the long run.
Just now we got a mail from Mr. Dr. Sundaram, retired DVDG GSI IT division. He just congratulated him and mentioned that it is excellent presentation. Okay, madam, it was very nice. I think nicely came out in YouTube without any hiccups. Nice recording. I think audio was well recorded. And Natan Saab, I think, is a very good, combined presentation is excellent. The way you take over maybe switching over, it's really good. Once again, we should thank you.
Thank you.
It's our pleasure, sir.
We should thank you all thank the organizers, Guha sir, Nageswaran sir, Surendranath sir, and Ravi sir for organizing it.
Thank you, Nataraj sir. Thank you, Sudha ma'am. And there are no more questions. I think we can close here now. And we can continue the discussions in through emails or through our website also is there. Please visit the website and please continue the discussions. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, everyone.